Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade in the
Shade in the
City.
City.
I'm your girl, Treese.
It's Nellz.
And today we are jumping into our review of 90 Day Fiancé Season 10, Episode 9, To Have and to Hold. So if you have not already, Shade Squad, please make sure that you hit this like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it. And it just started raining. That's why I looked over because I was like, what the hell is that? But yeah, so yeah, let's jump into it and let's get shady. So we are jumping into Nikki and Justin first, Nell's favorite couple. Justin is taking Nikki on a romantic getaway and, says if she behaves, he may have sex with her for a second time. Okay. So he's rationing out okay.
That's how you gotta do it. You can't have them hooked and going crazy.
I guess so. So they toast to new beginnings and old beginnings. And Nikki says that, really it's just a continuation of the beginning. And so she propositions him for, some cutty after dinner because, it's been about a week and things is getting a little dry, and he said that, he knows that she wants to have sex, but basically says that every time she fights with him, it takes him a step back. He needs to be there emotionally and mentally first. But he's gonna try his hardest on this trip to give her some. Okay. So then Justin shares that, they did have sex. So they did end up doing it. However, and they do this cute little cooking class, and Nikki is questioning the lady about like, hey, do men from Moldova cook for the women? And she's like, yeah. And so she's like, well, why you ain't never cooked for me? And he's like, well, but you don't cook nor clean. So
He
and
said
he's like American.
he
He
actually
feels
told
that
her
American women, don't really do anything. And I said, well, damn.
he told her she was giving very much masculine energy.
Well, we didn't get to that yet, but he did say that. So then they sit down and they eat, and she complains about the fact that he did give her some, but the fact that it was 3 a.m. in the morning, and she don't like that, spontaneous surprise ping. She wants it to be like scheduled. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of her.
Is it?
Hold on, you cut out. What'd you say?
Girl, anytime you complain about something and then he give it to you because it ain't how and when you want it,
right?
That's the problem.
It's super controlling. And
you wanted sex. He gave you the sex, but because he didn't go down on you, it was a problem. You wanted sex, and when he gave it to you at 3:00 in the morning, it was a problem.
She says it's just not special to her. And I said, but you get on my nerves. Oh my
But it's special to him. Girl, it ain't all about you. What the wake the hell up and turn over.
She getting on my good nerves. So she asked him if, the reason why their sex life has been so sporadic is, if it's because she's trans. He tells her it's because she gets in her emotions at times and it gives him man vibes. I said, ooh. But she actually doesn't take this offensively, which I guess is a good thing.
I mean, I can appreciate the fact that, she knows like where it comes from.
Right. And he tells her, to open up the woman part of her, basically be softer. Mm-hmm. So she brings up how she's not mentioned on social media and how he's all over her stuff. And we've seen this, I guess, Sakina and Sarper on the other way. Mm-hmm. So, but I thought it was really cute because he was like, I've lost enough friends, and he's trying to explain himself. But then he's like, you know what, baby, if you want me to do it, I'm gonna do it right now. And he
definitely didn't put up a fight. He didn't pull up a fight like
that. He pulled a stopper. He did it right in that moment. Changed his status, said I'm engaged. I said, okay.
She kind of also ain't paying Sarper's bills though.
Well, that part. So then basically he takes her, the next thing we see, he takes her on a date. They go wine tasting, they get really drunk, they all over each other in front of the wine connoisseur. And I did like the fact that he called wine liquid lubricant. I was like, that's not true, but anyway, so then Nikki wakes up the next day, she's hungover as hell. They go to get breakfast and they have plans to go horseback riding. But as they're having breakfast, she's like, oh, I want to ride your horse. And, he's like, I want to have sex too, but can we stop?
Can I be the one to initiate? Can I say some things?
Right.
Why are you always coming after me?
I gotta go back to an old 90-day review. I'm sure it was 90 day. It might have been Married at First Sight. But as our good girl Nellz would like to say, lion and gazelle.
I was thinking, I swear to God, truth, he's a gazelle. I was thinking of.
So basically she brings up how she doesn't think it was fair that, she got the D so late at night. And ask him if he'd rather just be friends because, he doesn't have sex with friends. And he's like, no, we have situationships over here in Moldova. We have situations where it's just sex, friends with benefits. Absolutely. They do that over here too. And so she's like, hold on. Well, I'm not going to get mad. And I said,
did. I said.
So she's like, I'm not going to get mad, but I just want to know, like, when's the last time?
Actually, she never said she wasn't going to get mad. She said, I won't judge you.
Okay, well, she said, I'm not going to judge you. But if you get mad, you're judging.
No. I expect you to do it as the man that you are, but in this relationship.
Well, I'm going to say that I can appreciate him being honest, but basically.
She played him.
So he tells her that when he gave her a ring is when he cut all his hoes off. Okay. And she's upset because, she applied for the K1 in June and he didn't propose till August. So before that time, they were going to Mexico. She was still sending him money for stuff and he was still smashing other chicks. And she's having this realization. And then he starts to realize like, oh, I fucked up. But I can appreciate him being honest. I mean, I don't know if he'll ever do it again, but I appreciate his honesty.
Who you're giving right now?
Huh?
The chick from Ready to Love. I appreciate his honesty.
Tequila?
Yes. I always want to call her. That's not what I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then he tries to make a joke and says that it's better than, masturbation, right? And tells her
in what world?
Huh?
In what world?
I know, right?
Is it better for you to go out and have sex with somebody else than masturbate?
Right. And tells her that, that's all in the past. And so now she doesn't know if she wants to move forward with this engagement at this point. She's real fired up. And hungover and fired up is never a good combination.
Not a good mix. Mm-mm. So next up, we got Sophie.
That was a favorite.
We know this is really tricky. We know this is your favorite. Okay, that's your boo. So Sophie and Rob.
No, she might want me to be her boo, but that's not my boo.
What? So they're about to go play some bowling. She said it's pretty big in England. So she got this. She said they don't got that many outdoor activities, so bowling is her thing. Now he invited his friends, and pretty much as soon as
and Tarai.
You know what? It sounds so close to me. I was not about to go and tongue twist myself trying to figure out what the hell. But and there you go.
I was very proud of Tarai this episode because the way he was giving her, I'm happy he gave.
Because he only gets one side.
True.
That's usually the case. But yeah, he invited his friends. The names that Tree said. And as soon as they got there, they pretty much got in her ass about going through his phone. And she said, "Sir, that's not something I want to do. I don't want to go through his phone." But
nobody
you know what?
Wants to do that.
Exactly. But clearly you got the story mixed up. Okay. He didn't tell you the whole story. So let me tell you about what happened. Let me tell you that he had dirty photos going back and forth, videos that he was asking for from some random, okay. And Rob, apparently, he just sitting there like a deer caught in headlights, like,
right.
So his friend is like, it's unfair. Basically, like, since you didn't tell me the whole story, I'm forming an unfair opinion. And Rob was like, I don't know why. I told you it's my fault. I admitted that I was wrong. So I don't know why the hell. Based off your details, sir. Based off your details. That's why. Okay. So, they still tried to get on Sophie about, going through his phone. And she said, that's the only way I can regain trust. Okay. He done broke my trust down so bad. I'm trying and hoping.
Let's not forget, it's been more than once.
Exactly. So many times that I'm hoping that one day I can go through this man's phone and not find them. Okay. So far, that hasn't been the case. But you know, I don't know how many chances you're gonna give, but so far it's not looking good for you. Now, Rob is sitting there feeling like, he on the sidelines feeling like he's being attacked. I don't know why, because these are things that you did. His friends is getting his ass too, basically. So Sophie went outside to get on FaceTime. I'm sorry, this is the next scene. Okay. So Sophie went outside to get on FaceTime with her friend Maya, and give her an update, and let her know that Rob is still on the same BS. And her friend, is just being supportive, but really she looked like she just wanted to smack the mess out of her and knock some sense into her. Like, girl, this is twice. When do you think it's going to change? Why would you think it's going to change? This is, look, it's giving what's his face? Freaking Justin. Oh, like we weren't serious because you were in another country. If that was the case, why am I here?
Right.
If you weren't if you didn't take us serious, why am I here?
Nikki's also more mad because she done spent this money.
I would have been mad giving up my nice apartment to go stay in a Roach Motel. I think she got reasons to be mad too.
Well, yeah.
So basically her homegirl Maya asked her if she let him know that she was bisexual yet. She said no, she has not yet. But she definitely feels like he deserves to know. So she gonna let him know. She planned to, but she feels like they've already gone through enough. Why? That was on his end. That was his side. Now, look, now, okay, you mad at him. Look, it is what it is. You want to be mad, sir? Whatever. Okay? Because I was mad first. So then, she in the house, getting all done up, getting all cute and stuff. Rob gets home. He's super excited because they're about to go get some wedding bands. She's actually pretty excited too. This girl's talking about a $5,000 budget. Girl, you ain't got no reason to be excited. You ain't got no reason to be excited because
I was gonna say the only thing that she could be excited about is it'll probably be more than $30.
I was gonna say the max he's spending on her $100, but the way Treese made it sound like it won't even be that. Right. And basically he let her know if he had a $5,000 budget, they wouldn't be having half the conversations that they have. I agree.
And he wouldn't be living where he lived.
Yeah, I totally agree with what he's saying. Clearly you chose down is basically what he informed you. Okay. So basically before they took off to go wedding band shopping, she lets him know she has something to tell him, but she couldn't get it out because she was having an anxiety attack. This girl could not get the words out. She was like, you know what, I need to go outside. He goes outside to go check on her, and she's like in tears. Mm-hmm. She's in tears. So of course they're gonna save the drama for next episode because that's how they do.
So then we meet our newest couple, Sam and Citra. Okay. I don't know if this couple is gonna be anybody's favorite. Now, Sam is 30 years old from Cameron, Mississippi. I'm sorry, I was going to say Missouri. He sleeps in his car because he works double shifts, and it's just easier to sleep in his car, save time, going from home and the job. Now he's had a battle with opioid addiction for years, but has cleaned himself up since
15. Because he's young.
Yeah, and
he's been clean for 10 years. That's what he said.
Well,
we just met the man.
So okay, and this is not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to poke fun at addicts. That's just like when Brittany was like, I've been clean for such and such a time on Love After Lockup, but you had a relapse. In my mind, as me, as a person who is not an addict, if I say I'm clean, that
means you haven't touched it at all.
I didn't have a relapse. In the moment I have a relapse, that means that cleanness starts all over.
I think that is how it works. Because when
okay, so that's why I was saying when he said,
because when you're in programs and stuff like that, they give you I don't know if that's still a thing. I've seen it on movies and stuff. They give you tokens for how long you've been clean, and I think you got to start over once you do it again.
Right. So
are you thinking that he had a relapse or?
Well, he said something about he said, because the way that they worded it, or the way production set it up, they said, oh, he had been clean for 10 years. And he said, but I relapsed, but now I can't because I have Citra. And I was like,
oh, I missed
so that. You've had a couple slip ups in that 10 years. That's not in my eyes, that's not 10 years being clean.
It don't matter. I don't see this working no way.
Okay, well, there we go. Anyway, so but again, as I just said, one of his motivations to stay clean is his fiance from Indonesia, who's 26, Citra. He met her online and has this, he's delusional because he actually thinks that she has some sort of butt. He loves that she was able to see past his drug addiction and love him anyway. Now they met face to face after 2 years. We, see Citra. She's over in Indonesia with her sisters, taking them out, spend some, time with them before she heads over to America. Apparently her mom passed away 2 years ago. She's a Muslim and says that, her faith is really important to her. So she's expecting him to convert. And if he doesn't take it seriously, her family's going to want her to go back to Indonesia. Now Sam, is that his name? Yeah. Sam is living with his dad, who has no religion, and believes in aliens. So he says, because of that, he's an atheist and hopes that, he can conform to all the rules and regulations of being Muslim. And I said,
that ain't gonna work.
No. Oh, okay. I didn't know how to work. But if reaching that's such a far stretch from being atheist to just, I'm gonna go be a devout, but bless your heart.
Like and Muslim of all?
Yeah, I was like, okay.
First of all, I feel like if you were even beginning to practice to be a Muslim, you would have never proposed to her without nothing.
Right.
You would have never dropped down on your knee without nothing. You're not offering nothing.
Yeah, they don't do that. So Citra calls to tell him that her dad will be coming shortly after she arrives to make sure that they don't sin, because obviously in the Muslim faith, you're not supposed to have sex before you get married. And her dad is a police officer in Indonesia. So the fear of her father has kept them from doing the nasty, is what they say. And she tells him that, they need to get married in 2 weeks so he can actually be there to see it. And he's like, oh, well, that's short and that's not enough. I don't know if that's enough time. And I said, and I am not trying to be funny, but I also thought that a part of addiction and when you go to therapy and stuff is not putting yourself in two situations that are extremely stressful or that might cause you to go back and reuse. I'm gonna just let that sit there. So that's my thoughts on Sam and Citra.
Clearly it don't take too much stress if you don't already realize. Next up is Devin and Nick. This scene was crazy. So Devin and Nick, they touched down, they spent a night in a hotel. And then still had to drive 2 hours away to get to Searcy, Arkansas.
Good old Searcy.
Where the hell are you compared to your damn airport? What the?
They left Memphis, which is in Tennessee. So they drove 2 hours to a different state. So Tennessee and Arkansas, I didn't realize it was that close, but they flew into Memphis.
Apparently Searcy doesn't have an airport. Some small little hick town, who the hell knows? But Nick was not impressed. He said, this is not the America that I dreamed of or thought of, or this don't look like New York.
Well, yeah,
okay,
Korea be popping. And so to them, the next closest thing is New York.
Exactly. All he sees is grass, trees, and animals. Now, when he gets to the house, he sees, it's big, but it's crowded as hell. Okay. So he knows they ain't gonna get much privacy, because apparently the whole family lived there.
The whole family. Ain't nobody moved out.
The whole entire family. Then they decided that, she wants to show him around Searcy. It looked like she went up 2 blocks and that was it. There really wasn't much to see.
It looked like they were in downtown. It reminded me a little bit of and I hate to say
Old Town something.
I was gonna say, but Old Town Manassas look better than that.
And there's people.
Well, yeah, but that main strip in Manassas, that's what it gave.
She was showing him the town, and it looked like they may have walked 2 blocks, and she that's it. That's the end of the tour.
That's all.
But it's making him feel like he's a little bit out of place because he sees that there's absolutely no Korean culture. Then he sees a Confederate soldier, which makes him feel like, he may not even really be welcome there.
He knew that.
What?
There was going to be no Koreans there.
I think it was the no Koreans plus the Confederate soldier. Like it's a statue of a Confederate. He's like, that's the people that, like had slaves. Like y'all have a statue of them.
I mean, I admit that, yes, he has a right to like have a culture shock, but he also can't be too naive to the fact that he said even before he came over here that he knew there were going to be no Asians.
So I think it's that plus seeing the Confederate soldier made him feel like he won't even be welcomed. So it's not just the fact that it's, no Korean culture. It's like, okay, there's no Korean culture and I'm not going to be welcome here.
I said to myself, I want to come to Cersei and go to the fish fry. And then I said, he probably more welcome than we would be. So you better get boy.
Not the way he said after.
Well, no, not what he did, but
Oh yeah. So Devin's family decided to have a fish fry, and they invited some family friends over, and initially they were impressed with Nick. They said, he cleans up behind himself. That's the Korean culture, okay?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw that, I said, things don't work out.
You said, come on over to my place.
I'm just saying, I'm going Blasian Asian, okay?
Yeah. So yeah, he said that he feels out of place. He said even in Australia, his friends that he had there were Korean. So, they sat down to eat and someone asked him, what do Koreans think of, South Koreans think of Americans? He said greasy food and fat. And then, the dad just kind of said, they're also lazy. It's easier for us to drive through a drive-through rather than cook. So Nick told Devin that, look at her, she's lazy. She always eat fast food for lunch. No wonder you're a piggy. Everybody is in shock.
No. The best part is when he grabbed at her stomach when he said
yes, he did. He showed him did. Oh, I actually have that. Then he grabbed, look, I have that. Then he squeezed her belly fat and said that he was just telling the truth. Like, look, I got a handful of it, okay? I'm not lying.
I will say they are very direct people.
So nobody really liked that, especially the dad. He said, he and Devin is like kind of acting like she's okay with it, but he figures that she's not. Now, after everybody got up to clean off the table, the family friends were getting into, the parents' ears, talking about how they couldn't do it. Okay, basically telling him they only got 90 days to figure out if you even want this man to be your son-in-law.
Did you hear what they said?
Grandchild. What?
That part.
The father of your grandchild. Mm-hmm.
I will say, and maybe it's just me, Shay Squad, y'all drop down in the comments. I usually don't look for any type of racial undertones or anything like that. But to me, the way that they delivered that and when they said it, and again, these are two Caucasian couples sitting here.
I mean,
it made me feel like they were like, so you gonna deal with this rude? That's gonna be the father of your Asian grandparent. I mean, I don't know. It just I get what they were saying, but as someone who is not Caucasian, it rubbed me the wrong way.
So, I mean, I don't want to make it that only because it seemed like they were cool with him before he said what he said. So I don't want to make it about the fact that he's Korean. I mean, really,
they will also be cool with you and then have Confederate flags on the back of their truck. So I'm just.
I mean, I would be feeling the same way if somebody is walking around calling my daughter Piggy.
No, I absolutely. I'm
not. And no, I don't want
that.
And also, why do I want you to be the father of my grandchildren? Because if you think it's okay to call your wife that, you clearly, I can only imagine the choice words you have for your children.
Right.
So I don't want to make it about the fact that he's Korean. Okay. Although I'm not going to lie, it's possibly, especially seeing the Confederate soldier. Yes. But when they said it, I didn't take it to that because of the everything that happened prior, and they were the ones that were most shocked by it. Apparently the parents probably already heard it or seen it or whatever.
Well, and they were on the hefty side, so they might have been a little offended.
Absolutely. I think the mom even said something about that, like, you can't be in America talking about people's weight. Like, That it's, it's actually, yeah. So the dad says that they haven't had a chance to discuss it yet, but right now, he's more focused on how he treats, if he's a good person and how he treats her. He just wants to make sure that he treats his daughter right. And they understand that, Nick may not understand the impact of the word piggy to an American woman. Regardless, the dad said, he's going to sit down, lay down the law, okay, and how his daughter needs to be treated. So, I mean, I think they're trying to understand the fact that, he's from another country.
No, I think the parents, in my opinion, I think the parents are being very patient with him, and I like that. I think for me, it was, and I get it, but that's what I was saying. It was a very candid conversation, and that's what made me question it. Because I'm not going to say if they're okay with it, but if they're accepting it, if they're trying to learn to accept him, who were you to come in and be like, oh, you want that to be?
And you know what, if it does have anything to do with the fact that he's Korean, I would think that it could possibly be the fact that if he doesn't see anything wrong with him saying this, and this is his culture, and
what more, how far can it go?
Exactly. And
I understand that.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into
Teresa's favorite. I'm so glad she got them.
Nell's dreadheaded sister. It is Ashley and Manuel. We pick up where we left off, and Manuel has walked off into the night. Her friends call Manuel a man child.
I'll agree with that.
And basically tell her to let him walk away. So Ashley knows he just doesn't like being questioned, like that. And she returns home and wants to talk. And I thought it was funny because he was ignoring the shit out of her, and he was really okay with it. And then she's like, do you want to get married or not? And then all of a sudden he's like, all right, what? Let's talk. Since you want to throw that shit out, let's talk. And so she tells him that he can't just run off when there's a problem. And Manuel feels like her friends don't understand him, and there was no reason to sit there and let them badger him. And then Ashley explains that they are concerned because they will be married. And he explains, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think the last 2-3 episodes I've been with Manuel, right? He said, okay, that's fine, but I'm marrying you, okay? And I don't need your friends all up in my business, and I would appreciate if you would stop telling them my business.
Then why did your family know my business? I don't even know your family. I can't even talk to them. I don't know nothing about them, but they for damn sure I know I'm getting a paycheck. They for damn sure know that I'm the one sending the money.
She's gonna take up for her dreadhead sister. So
I'm not taking up for a damn thing. All I know is when money coming out of my pocket, I need to know every damn thing. And you the one not sharing stuff, but you don't want me to share stuff. Listen,
it's private. So
it's my pockets.
So Ashley is a little disappointed that he doesn't care about, a relationship with her friends, and he didn't apologize. So then she takes Manuel out for his first garbage plate. And this sounded interesting, but it did sound like a trip to the toilet. And they're supposed to be doing some wedding planning. So a garbage plate, I have to break this down because, we don't know what the hell it is, right? So it's 2 pastas, 2 meats, meat sauce, and onions. And then they put it all together and you eat it. Now, Manuel says that 60% of his time in America has been spent in the restroom since he got
here. He misses Ecuadorian food.
Right. Ashley wants to, because it's probably grown naturally and like from a farm.
I'm sure that's not the only reason.
Well, but I hate to say it, but natural organic food does taste better, as we know, from someone who grows their own plants. But anyway,
look, I'm still sure that's not the only reason. Look at what they were eating.
But
I think he was talking about some ceviche. When he started naming food, I said, yeah, homie,
that is good. And it's fresh. It's probably fresh too.
Mm-hmm.
So Ashley wants to get married in Florida because they met abroad, they met traveling, so she wants to travel and get married. They start looking at tickets, and he is like, nah, that's not it. This is too much money. He said that a wedding in Ecuador, and I'm not even gonna hold y'all shades far. I bet you might get married in Ecuador. Okay. When he said that it is $2,000 for about 50 to 100 people, let me know if you want the invite. Just saying.
She wants her family. My only thing is, right, I don't have a problem with her, helping her future husband, whatever, right? My thing is, But what we're not going to do is, because I'm helping your family, I can't get the wedding that I
Well,
want.
hear me out. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this one because I
You
do
always do.
no, but for real, because I do think that as Americans, we don't see things the same as people that are not from this country,
Okay.
especially so the way that we may, even how he was coming at her about how she spends on vet bills and dogs, they're not
Mhm.
doing that over there
Okay. And it's my money
because
that I work for.
that money is going to food, to
Guess what?
clothing, to
Until
house.
you're contributing to it, don't talk about what I'm spending my money on. Until you're making this money over here to contribute to what I'm bringing in, there's no need for you to concern. This is private. Don't concern yourself about what I'm spending my money on. What you do know is I'm spending my money on your family, and that's all you need to be concerned about.
Well, Ashley says Manuel is very price conscious, whether it's buying eggs or plane tickets. She tells him she wants him to agree with her decisions, and he tells her it doesn't matter because she's gonna do what she want to do anyway. So then, Ashley does think that they are both feeling guilty because every time they spend, they have to question whether that could have been money that could have been sent back to his family. I'm not gonna lie. Now that is the one thing. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a hard because she does feel kind of guilty because she's starting to see it from his way of life, but at the same time, she doesn't want to give up her what she's known.
That's what I'm saying. So why do I have to give up the wedding of my dreams, or maybe not even of my dreams, the wedding that I feel like I can afford or that I really want, because we have to take care of your responsibilities.
I'm not gonna say she had points. If y'all want to agree with her in the comments, y'all can. Anyway, so Ashley then takes Manuel out to the beach to relieve some tension. He seems to be in his happy place, which is next to the water. And he says that this is his favorite spot so far. I'm not even gonna lie. I was happy seeing him happy for once.
I'm not gonna lie, I was too.
Yeah, it was nice. She knows that there are things that they won't be able to resolve before their wedding day, but it's just a little too much to unpack. So he talks about missing Ecuador, missing his family, and how hard life is in America. He says that, when he sees her spending money, she doesn't think it's a lot, but it bothers him. And then when he asks her to send his family $100, she's flipping out. So she has to remind him, I had a life before you got here. I was spending my money before you got here.
And now not only am I sending your family money, I also have to take care of you. So it's not like I'm just sending them the money and you're taking care of your own stuff.
Now, Manuel expresses to her that, he's been taking care of his family on his own for, since he was
he was 13.
Right, a very young man. And so Ashley, now that she has a little bit better of an understanding of how he feels, she offers him a compromise and says that she'll send $100 for now. And then after the wedding, they can talk about sending more money. And even though Manuel knows that this is not a lot, he's grateful that Ashley is finally seeing where he's coming from. And then he tells production they have faced, obstacles, obviously, but he loves Ashley and is marrying her for love. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I believed it. I believed it. I believe him more than I believe Anna Lee. No comment.
No comment.
Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in
thank you.
Another review of the 90 Day of the Fiancé. Season 10, what the hell episode was this? 9. I was about to say 6, 9. If you haven't already, Shade Squad, make sure that you've hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
You subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and IG. And I just want to say, y'all, if you are following us already, it is okay. Send us a DM, send us a tweet. Sometimes I be wanting to know, check up on y'all, know where y'all be at when y'all go missing. And, this is like a squad. It's our little family here. And I be concerned sometimes. And, I be like, where they go, or we don't see y'all for a couple weeks or whatever. And I be really worried. And this is a whole family. So it is okay to reach out, say hey, and we would love to keep in touch with y'all. Because again, it's a squad, it is a family, and that's why we want you to join. So the same way y'all keep tabs on us every week and why y'all ain't here and why this review ain't here, we want to do the same for y'all. But anyway, So love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. And we will catch you in a couple days for episode 10 of 90 Day Fiancé. Have a good night.
Good night.
And a great week.